Red is the champion.
Yeah, 2024 Willamette champions.
They say
It's
next
red.
year's hood season, so we'll see.
All right, everyone, we are back. After a long hiatus, Thousand Chickens podcast, we're here right before Summer League playoffs.
Very exciting time.
Yep, I'm joined today by Alex and Emilio.
It's a great year.
So it's been a while since our last episode.
Yep. And a lot has happened.
A lot has happened. So today, I mean, obviously with playoffs coming up, we got nothing else to talk about really. So we're going to go in and talk about the final regular season standings, and then we're going to get into playoff matchups and predictions maybe. So
And yeah, we compare them to what we said to
what they
what they ended
actually
up as,
are.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I guess we can start from bottom to top at the number 8 spot.
we have
We
the
have
green team.
the green team. Unfortunately, we didn't have a good year this year.
Would you guys finish 2 and 5?
2 and 5,
2 and 5.
unfortunately.
I mean, we have 3 teams 2 and 5.
Yeah.
I mean, let's start off first with the problems.
But for our team, man, it was just tough. We a lot of the games we lost were close.
Yeah, I
say.
do remember that.
Pink you lost to.
It was a close
Super
game
close.
against Pink.
You lost to Red by I think 4 or 5.
Yeah,
It was just.
We've lost to daggers pretty much. We lost to John's deep 3. We lost to Ryan's 3 in the corner. It's like
Yeah.
all our games are close. Could have gone either way. So
Could have.
just we got
Just
the short
finishing
end of
out the
stick.
game. Yeah.
It's tough.
I
but-
think down the stretch when I was watching your guys' games, kind of looked like you guys didn't know where to go for who was gonna take that shot in the crunch time.
Exactly. Especially with the addition of Adrian.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's hard to see who wants to take that shot because he also wanted to take a step back in that number 1 position, and that it's not really left you guys scrambling, but it's who's gonna take that shot now.
Yeah.
But he still you could see down the stretch he still wanted to take those shots, but that it made it weird for your rotation. I feel
Yeah.
like. But I how did you guys feel about the duo of Ron and Adrian?
I think it was super explosive offensively and had that potential, but I just don't think what we all expected, it met that expectation.
Yeah.
I agree.
Both individually great players, and maybe it's just, time is going to,
Bring
be
it
able to
together.
have them mesh a little bit better, but it definitely wasn't what I expected.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like together, obviously offensively, they're both great together. But I think what showed the most between this season and last season was our defense. Our notable losses, Tito Buzz and Tito Nung. It just left us with pretty much no depth on defense.
What made you guys so good defensively was everyone knew how to rotate.
Yeah,
But when you add new players who are new to the actual system of the green team, then it's hard to put them on page because that Tito Buds and Nung, they just knew telepathically when to switch and when.
It was just a super disciplined defense. I
Yeah.
remember it was so frustrating to play against because everyone was just on the same page defensively, and it didn't feel that way this year, I feel like.
Yeah.
What'd you guys have them finishing as?
I had us at 2 at the number 2 seed, going 5 and 2. Emilio had them at 6, going 2 and 5. So I mean, he got the record spot on. But,
Yeah, that's actually crazy. All
I
right.
got that on the
Emilio
dot.
got the best
And
prediction.
then-
I had them at going the 2nd seed, I think 5 and 2 as
yeah,
well.
you had
so.
us 3rd seed, 4
Or
and
3rd
3.
seed.
Ross, you had high expectations for
I
that
thought
green
I thought
team.
they were going to be a top team, but
It's tough.
it's tough.
But again, a lot of our losses were
Close.
could have gone either way.
That's the thing with the short season.
Yeah.
Those hurt they sting.
yeah,
Because you need those games,
And
especially how tied up it is.
interesting to see what's the team going to look like next season.
Yeah,
is
I have
Adrian
no
coming
idea.
back? Is Travis coming back?
I have
who
no
knows?
It
idea.
could go a lot of ways. It
Yeah,
could go a lot of
so
ways.
there's definitely a lot to unpack for that. But I guess we can move on now to the 7th seed. Also being eliminated from the playoff contention is going to be Black Team, and this year they also finished 2 and 5.
Tough year.
Yeah.
Tough
What
year.
do you guys think went wrong?
I don't know. They in all facets when they were going, they were going. I really like the addition of Didi. I really like how he played. I don't think he was a problem there. And I honestly need your guys' opinion. I don't know what the problem was, to be honest with you, because I feel like they still played well.
I was
just
talking
didn't go
to
that well.
a few of their guys about what went wrong, and they said it almost seemed like the first half as a team compared to the second half as a team, they felt like a completely different team.
Yeah.
I
could see- I
whether
could see
that's
that.
the individual, like, I'm gonna go get my points, I'm gonna do my thing, and not playing as a team. But apparently that happened this weekend. They were in a close game up until in the first half, and then they got blown out by
Oh, it was
20.
bad. Yeah.
Yeah. Second half was not looking
And
good.
that's that was a huge game. They needed to win that game. If they win
For
that
a
game, they
playoff
make the
chance.
playoffs.
Yeah.
And
It feels like they didn't want it either. If you go back in the film, they didn't look like they wanted to be there. And energy is a big thing when it comes to a team like Black.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I had them as my 4 seed, and I think going, early in the year they beat us, and I really thought like this is gonna be a team that like we're gonna have to worry about in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and
especially with the addition of DD too.
yeah, definitely rebounding, size inside, defense. Like he's a big piece for them, and
it just fell apart this
Yeah,
year.
they definitely slowed down second half of the season. I don't know why. I mean, like on paper, like we talked about before, this team looked great. Curtis, Didi, like these guys they had depth everywhere. But
I think you could also look towards their bench too. It was different this year. The bench just they needed more help on the bench. Their second squad, they lacked a ball handler. I feel like
Definitely.
That's true.
their ball handler would be either John Ferreira or Ferry.
or Ryan.
Ryan. But I feel like he didn't really bring the ball up though. He doesn't
Yeah.
really bring the ball up, and when you have that second rotation come in, it's hard to find an offense.
yeah. And I like Curtis too. Like I like the pickup of Curtis. I
Yeah.
thought he was
Yeah.
gonna be,
I thought
and
they
he
were gonna
didn't
be
play
really
bad for them. I don't think he was the reason that you can charge those losses on.
Yeah,
but
definitely not.
It's just a bunch of small things and a lack of energy that added up.
Definitely.
And that's just how it is.
Unfortunate, yeah. But I had them at my 4 seed going 4-3. Emilio, you had them at 5 going 3-4. Alex, you had them at 4 as well, going 4-3. So again, Emilio closest to.
I think
to
Emilio's the
record
best so far.
Yeah. But,
it won't last.
moving on to our first playoff contender at the 6th seed, we have Pink.
What was their record?
They were also 2-5.
2-5.
3 teams, 2-5.
They just got the luck of the draw this
Yeah.
one. They beat Black and Green, so that's how they made it.
Wow.
We got really lucky with those wins. Honestly, a lot of games were close, and the reason why we haven't been doing so well is it's too many new faces, and like I was talking to King, is what made our defense so deadly was that 1-2-2 zone, because we were able to rotate so quickly. But with the addition of Ben, which is like a bigger guy, and it was good because Matt now has help defensively.
Definitely.
We have to switch up our defensive system, which we aren't used to. We had to switch to mainly a man because our personnel is more fit for man, which is the right thing to do, but it's not what we're used to. It's not what's been successful for us. A bunch of new faces, and I mean, with that, you just have to figure out how each other's games are, and if you feel like your game isn't working, then you have to adapt as well, and that's pretty big for us. But offense is not the struggle at all for this team. Like offensively, we do really good because we have Ben at the high post. We have a really good 3-point shooters, and we have Tyler down low, who's really good around the rim.
Around the rim, yep.
But
Great rebounder.
Yeah,
He's a great rebounder.
I honestly think, like, from what I've heard around people from the league, I think it's a chemistry issue more than anything.
Yeah, when you have a lot of new people,
Yeah, it's
just
kind of
have to
like
figure
a lot of
everything out.
people. I thought it was like a lot of clashing on Pink team. And I mean, yeah, they definitely showed improvement from last year. They picked up a few wins.
anything is pretty much an improvement from last
To
year.
be honest, yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think just that there's a little bit of a power struggle going on that team right now. If you were to ask me, I couldn't pick out a leader from that team. I don't know if there's one person that I could pick out as a leader.
I think that's fair. That's a very fair
So
point.
yeah, it's
like,
it's tough. I feel like it's an internal problem
Yeah.
more than it is an external problem.
Yeah, because we have all the
Yeah, you guys have all
tools,
the
yeah.
talent in the world.
I agree with Jaden. Like, I never thought about that, but like, if you were to like call a timeout in a close game, like, who's gonna be in the huddle, like, initiating what they're gonna do, and
Right,
directing
exactly.
the team? I just feel like there's that aspect is missing.
yeah.
But I mean, we're talking about them like You guys did finish 2-5, but you guys made the playoffs.
Yeah.
And if you guys win 2 games Saturday, none of this matters.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
it's a new page, and
It's a new game. This
we'll
Sunday.
see how everybody steps up because we'll see if we have a full team that day, and it's gonna.
Hopefully.
You want to go to number 5?
Yeah, but just one more time.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Hey, I got this one right. Spot
2
and
and
record.
5.
6 seed, 2 and 5. I got that 100% right. Emilio had them at the 2 seed, going 6 and 1, and Alex had them at 5, going 4 and 3. So
4 and 3, I had them.
4 and 3.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's a little generous.
Yeah, that's a little generous. You got a couple of those games go your way.
No,
4 and
yeah,
3, so-
Definitely.
exactly.
So number 5 now is the purple team who went 3 and
No, yellow.
or yellow. No. Oh,
Number
wait.
5 is
Yeah,
yellow.
yellow.
Oh, my bad. Yeah. So yellow is the number 5 seed going 3 and 4. I'm gonna start off. We're sorry. All right. We're
Nah,
sorry.
I'm not gonna
We're
say sorry. I mean, it was our predictions. We were
but-
wrong.
Yeah.
But
Wait,
I
can
mean, to be fair, we were
Yeah.
only wrong by at least me and Amelia were only wrong by 1 game. I don't know.
wait, what did you have him as?
Alex had them 1 and 6.
1 and 6?
I, I'm not sorry. I don't know if I can curse, but fuck that. I'm not sorry.
You could, but it's like they played well. They're a team that lives and dies by the 3, and
Yeah.
this season they lived. You know what I'm saying?
Underdog this year for sure. They're
Big
definitely
underdog.
the villains of the league.
Yeah,
I
they're-
think this year.
I think they're accepting that role a
I
little
think
bit.
they
Yeah,
took that
they're
from
accepting
they,
that
they
role.
took
Was-
that role this year for sure. But
and they're riding with it. Yeah.
And even in the games they lost, they fought. They're definitely a team that's gonna fight the entire
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
We played a close game with them 2 weeks ago. They had a close game with you this past week.
yeah, I'm proud to say I handed one of them their L's single-handedly. Single-handedly handed them an L.
was that game?
That was that game. That was that game.
Yeah, you got to give them props to a team that doesn't give up really,
Yeah.
and they're even with the tag that's on them right now.
Yeah.
They're still,
don't care. They're still playing through
they're
it.
close
Playing
knit,
through it.
and they don't stop till the game is
Yeah.
over.
And they got what, purple this weekend?
They
got
do.
purple,
Purple
which is
this
gonna
weekend.
Be,
It's gonna be. Hey,
it's gonna
I'm
be
hoping
a
for some
movie.
good games.
It's gonna
man.
They
I'm hoping for
played.
some
I
good
think they
games.
played the second week of the season, and that was like a 2-point game, like super high scoring and super close game. So it's gonna be
Fast-paced
interesting.
team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's gonna be
for
interesting
sure.
to see that game too. Two
We'll see,
two really
we'll
good first games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had them at 7, going 2 and 5. Emilio also had them at 7, going 2 and 5. Alex had them at 8, going 1 and 6.
Wow.
So, hey,
Me and Jaden were the closest.
I guess we were the closest. All right, so moving on to the 4 seed now. Now is the purple team that also went 4 and 3. Sorry,
3, yep.
Purple went 4 and 3 this year.
I love this team.
Yeah,
Still
go
love
ahead,
this
go
team.
ahead. Go ahead. You want to kick
They
it
were
off?
your
Go ahead.
pick this year, so
They,
Yeah,
they,
they
were
were.
my pick to take it all this year, and they hit my well, how do I have them?
You had them.
I had them 6 and 1.
This guy's crazy.
So it's purple. I mean, the reason why they lost those games too was the big injury to Melo, and another thing for me was attendance.
I agree.
Yeah,
they just
definitely.
they don't have people don't show up for their games, and when
Yeah.
they show up, it's like right when the game starts, you don't warm up, and they're just struggling to be not struggling to be a team, but you need to have a sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Like you need to show up on time, you need to warm up, and you need to be there for your team. And that's their biggest weakness, because when the whole team shows up, they go
They're-
crazy.
Yeah.
I think fully healthy. I don't know if they lost the game, honestly.
I don't think
I'm not
so
sure.
either.
They played us without 3 of their top guys.
Right, because they beat Gray, which is big. They beat Pink, they beat Black, and then they beat Green.
Yeah.
So it's a big thing. And that team, when they pass and when they get their offense going,
Yeah.
they're unstoppable.
And I
They have countless threats on that team.
Yeah.
Everyone can score the ball there.
I think Josh was a big pickup for them.
Yeah,
the floor spacing
huge,
that gives
huge.
Shane and Mello and Brandon the opportunity to work. And Nav, too. Like, Nav's not talked about a lot. He can shoot the ball, and he spreads the floor out for any, big man that's guarding him.
Yeah,
like,
right.
the paint is kind of wide open because you have to guard up on him.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then but that's also a thing though, when he's sitting out there in the 3, you don't really have a big man that's sitting down low. That's probably one of the biggest things too. You don't have a big crash out guy. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
The thing though with that is they're all pretty
Tall.
They're all pretty
They
tall.
do have a tall
They are
team.
pretty
I
tall.
noticed that when we played them last week and we got blown out. They were. That's one of the things that I'm these guys are all tall. They don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
they don't need a
Mismatch
quote unquote
nightmare.
5. They're all tall enough where they can guard all 5. They can switch on everything, and I mean, they're fast.
That
you
might
know?
have been the biggest point differential I've seen in Phil Am
crazy.
since I joined.
It was
That was
crazy.
bad.
That was
Yeah.
got out of hand quick.
They just got out on transition.
And Melo,
they
I
killed
mean,
us.
shout out Melo. He had like 20.
Hey, shout out
Wonderful
Melo, bro.
shooting.
Shout out
Wonderful
Melo.
crazy
Shout out
day.
Melo. But yeah,
From Melo.
we were getting killed on transition, fast breaks. So again, with them playing yellow this weekend, you know, they have 2 fast-paced teams.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can match each other and we'll have a good game.
But the thing is, I don't know if you guys like, in the sense that, like, I don't know, Josh Medina, I didn't really see him the same as he was on that black team.
Yeah.
I prior to the season when they first added Josh Medina to the purple team,
We were all big on him.
we were pretty big on
yeah.
him. But for the games that he did show up, I didn't see the same deadly Josh Medina as I saw on black team. So I mean, the playoffs is still here. Let's see if he shows up for it. But
Yeah, I feel like his role diminished. a
His
little bit.
role
Definitely,
diminished.
I
He
mean,
definitely gets a lot less shots than he did for the black team, but he hasn't been hitting them as efficiently.
Yeah.
And I think it attributes to the fact that he cut his hair.
Are you saying he's not as handsome anymore?
Is it handsome? Well, we can move on.
But yeah, so I had them at 5, going 3-4. Emilio had them at 1, going 6-1, and Alex had them at 6, going 3-4.
Oh, you got that one. You got that one.
Two.
Oh wait, no,
Both
4 and
3
3.
and 4.
Wait,
Yeah,
hold up,
we were
hold up.
one off. We were both one.
Both
Yeah,
one
we were both
off.
one off. You were way off. But,
I started off strong though.
They were looking really good to start the season.
No,
I'll
they
give
were.
you that.
Definitely.
But
Yeah.
I think I think they'll be all right. I mean, I
Yeah.
think their lack of
Attendance,
availability.
you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just
Definitely.
attendance.
Yeah. But yeah, moving on. What are we at 3 now?
Yeah.
The blue team is the 3rd seed, also going 4-3. They've had an up and down year. Up
They
and down
started off
season.
super weak.
What,
But
0 and
then-
3 to start.
0 and 2. I think
Yeah.
0 and 2.
0 and-
They were 0 and 2. So let's see here.
Either 0-2 or 0-3. I don't know.
They no, they actually beat Purple for the first game. Or no, wait, no.
No, that's not in order. That's
Oh,
not in
so
order.
they beat Purple. They beat Purple, Yellow, Black, and Pink. But they lost to Gray, Red, and Green.
Yeah, I mean, this team is pretty much still the same team as last season.
They're talented. They are a talented team.
Tough blow for them that they lost Justin, their new
yeah.
addition. They
But-
picked up Kenny though, the other Patterson brother. So we've unlocked
We,
four. We've
we,
unlocked 4 out of 6 Patterson brothers. We're waiting on the
Are
last
there
2.
2 more?
There's
2
2
more,
more,
bro.
bro.
There's 2 more.
Crazy, yo. Are they all play basketball?
I
don't know. I mean,
I don't
4
know.
of them, dude.
Yeah,
Why
four-
would you- they can run some crazy threes.
But
Yeah, but they started off pretty weak, 0 and 2. Then they started to turn up. I think they won like the next 2 or 3 after that.
Yeah.
Then they had the big blow with Justin. But the reason why I feel like they've been doing good is Professor has looked different this year.
yo, he's
a
been
beast
crazy.
this year.
He's probably having his best year so
He's been
far.
playing really good. He's been playing really good.
Like we were saying at the start, remember we were talking about how he lost weight. He looks a little faster,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah,
faster,
yeah,
a lot
yeah,
shiftier.
yeah.
And his shooting too. He's been shooting really well.
Shooting the lights out, man.
Yeah, him and Donnie have been holding down that blue team. I feel like
Holding it
Definitely.
down. Hey, they're a very solid team. on
They're a
paper.
very solid
They're
team.
when they're working together and they're communicating. They're tough to stop.
I mean, I feel like they do have a chance to win this
Oh,
championship.
definitely.
But if they were to have a chance, I would need to see a bigger role or a bigger performance from Chevy. I feel like this year he's taken I don't know how to explain, but he's taken a step back.
Maybe a little bit of a backseat to
Yeah.
Donnie and,
Yeah.
To Donnie and
Miller.
Yeah.
I could
and-
definitely see that a little bit. Yeah.
he hasn't been aggressive. He hasn't been as aggressive as he usually is. And why they made it so far to the championship last year with Red was because of his energy and how well he was performing.
I
But
agree.
we'll see this year, of course, the playoffs, and then it brings out a different beast in everybody.
True. So yeah, for our preseason rankings, I had them at the 3rd seed 4-3. Emilio had them at the 4th seed 5-2, and then Alex had them at the 2 seed 5-2.
I mean,
You had
we're
him on the dot.
we're all pretty close.
I was
but,
on the dot with the record seeding. What was
record
I?
and
Yeah.
seeding.
Oh, record
And
and
seeding.
seeding.
Yeah,
Yo, so
Danny
I'm-
got it on the dot, but
Yo.
we're all high on them, and I mean
Yeah.
they were top 3 seeds. So
Yeah, I'm hoping to see some big things from this blue team in the playoffs, man. Especially without Justin, that's a huge wild card.
Well, we'll see how we haven't really been able to gauge out how Kenny plays in that team.
Yeah,
so
we haven't
that's
seen
like
too
a
much of
wild
it.
card too.
Yeah,
So
also you're right.
Guys are gonna have to step up. Garvin's gonna have to step up.
Garvin, who else they got? Hey, Jude and Julian. I don't know if they're gonna show up for playoffs, but if they do, it's gonna be a huge help for their defense. Because I mean, last few games they have been looking a little short on the bench. You know,
they haven't had anybody on the bench.
Yeah, these guys are
really.
kind of forced to play the full 40, which I'm sure.
Which hasn't been
they
a
don't-
problem.
Yeah, it doesn't really seem like a problem.
But
for them.
especially on a day where they have a chance to play back-to-back
That's
games,
right. That's
they
right.
like
gonna kill
that's
them.
the
a good
depth
point.
is like a must.
That's a
you
good
need
point.
to like
Yeah.
get these guys a break at some point.
Especially with the play style of how like bang down low Donnie is, and how like cut and go
Yeah. It's
the
gonna gas you
professor
out.
is. You're gonna gas
gonna
out.
gas
You
you
know
out.
what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's not like you're green. You play a slow passing game.
Yeah.
You wanna use your physical strengths, and that exhausts you, especially if you have to do it back to back.
True. So we're moving into the top 2 now. We're gonna start off with the great team, 5-2.
We all messed up on this
yeah,
one.
hey.
It was not good.
I'm not gonna say underestimated because we didn't really have anything to judge it off,
Yeah.
but definitely surpassed my expectations.
They definitely embraced the role of the underdog team.
yeah.
And I don't know about how you guys feel about it, but the performances of Flip and Keenan offensively and Mill defensively has been why they've been doing so good.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
They've definitely stood out to me a lot, especially Flip coming in. He wasn't even like he was on my radar, but he's like, I'm not, I wasn't I wasn't zoned in on him.
Yeah.
But after this regular season, this guy's scoring potential is crazy. You need to have a body on him at all times.
I think they're just a well-constructed team. Like,
Yeah.
They got Luke and Paul, who are like elite shooters. They
Yeah.
both can shoot the
Yeah.
ball really well, and that just opens the floor for Keenan, Flip, Mill to just work.
Yeah.
And then you got Ben off the bench, who has been
Goat.
You mean
The
Michael
goat.
Jordan?
I mean,
Michael
guys,
Jordan,
he's like
man.
he's been playing really good basketball lately.
He
for them.
has.
He-
Yeah.
Against us, he was their second highest scorer. I wasn't at the game this weekend, but I heard
He went
played
crazy.
He played great for them. So if he's doing that in the playoffs and he's giving you 7 to 10 points, I mean that's huge for them.
But the thing is though, and I'm going back to when we made the rankings,
Yeah.
I'm still standing on what I said their weakness is. And it was true. When they played Red, they have a huge mismatch problem when it comes to size.
Yeah.
And that's going to have to be addressed when you come into the playoffs.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're gonna see, if you're planning to win it all, you're gonna see red one way or another. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that just goes to show that you're gonna need someone. And hey, Steve has been playing pretty well as of late.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
your
I like
main
to see.
big guy
That's what I like
guarding.
to see. Yeah.
So I mean that's the thing. Like, you don't have to. Well, the most prominent big men are on blue, black, and red. You have Didi on black, which you don't really have to worry about anymore, because he's not.
And Green too.
And Green, because you have Travis, yeah, because they're both out the playoffs.
Elite big men are.
And you have Donnie too, which is gonna be. So you have Donnie and Alex.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a mismatch nightmare.
Yeah.
Especially if you have Steve that are gonna be
Just
playing
Steve, it's gonna
just
be tough.
Steve. It's gonna be tough because he's gonna have to really step up, or
Yeah.
even if maybe Flip would have to take on that role as
Yeah.
well. So that's something that they had to address.
It's gonna be. Hey, again, it's gonna be a fun playoffs, man.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
But hey, shout out to Gray again. Surpassing expectations, playing very well. Again, like I didn't know half the guys on their team before the season started. So, I mean, we had to make do with what we had. So, but in our rankings, I had them at 8 seed 2-5. Emilio had them at 8 seed 1-6, and Alex had them at 8 seed 7 seed 2-5.
So he was the closest.
I was a guys.
Yeah.
I knew.
He saw the vision.
And finally, at the 1 seed, we have Red Team going 6-1.
Losing to the black team.
Losing to the black team,
Yeah.
surprisingly.
Red just being red team.
Red team
this
is being red team, man.
All the
I
things.
feel like there's nothing really to talk. I
There's
mean,
not much-
actually,
there is not that
There
much.
is. I feel like Travis has helped you guys out a lot.
He's been great.
He's
for us.
been amazing for you guys.
He has been great, but it's like for what red team was, they're still as great as last year.
Yeah.
Even with the addition of Travis, which is a good addition, but they passing, defense, offense, it's all one perfect balance
It's all
for this red
patented.
team.
Yeah, it's into the. I mean, their play style, they've solidified their play style. They know
Yeah.
what they want to do. I feel like they're the one team in the league that has a definite plan every single game. They definitely have the best communication out of
Yeah.
any team in the league that I've seen.
They study and they have a tight chemistry, which if you want to be different, you have to be different from the other. You have to do different things from the rest of the league.
Yeah.
And that's what these guys are doing. But
Yeah, I mean, I think it was a great year. I think I actually had us. I projected us at 6-1.
You did 6-1 at the 1 seed.
And I think I said that the reason that we were going to lose that one game was because of a bad shooting performance. And Dev, I love you, man. I think he shot probably 20% that game on 30 shots. And we lost.
he knows it too.
He knows it. He'll admit it.
It's the camera curse.
Yo, watch the mic'd up. Watch the. That was the mic'd up game.
That was the mic'd up
game.
It's the mic'd up curse.
He
curse.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't his best game, and we lost by, I think, 5 points. Black played us super tough. That zone gave us some fits. But I think I like where we're heading into the playoffs. It's going to be the first game on Sunday that we have a full team all year.
Wow.
Because it was Leo that was injured, then me, then Leo went back on vacation.
Yeah.
He's, at his wedding. Congrats, Leo, on getting married.
Congrats.
So it's going to be interesting to see like what we're going to look like fully healthy, what the rotation is going to look like,
Yeah.
because Leo's typically the starter, but the way Travis has played these last 2 games, I think he had like 11 and 15 in the past 2 games.
Huge rebounder.
And he's averaging
Huge
a
rebounder.
double-double in these games. It's going to be tough to not
Yeah.
like play him a ton.
And then
So-
you have Randy, Robin, and Dev. All have been playing amazing this season.
Yeah.
So it's tough. You got that's a problem you kind of want to have though. You have too many good players.
Yeah.
you know?
For sure. Definitely.
And that's why Devin's been performing so well. He's going baby daddy mode.
Baby daddy mode.
So congrats to him as well.
Congrats,
Dev.
Dev.
But I wanted to ask you, Alex,
Congrats.
like with your 2 biggest threats gone being Didi and Travis, like how do you feel yourself like going into this, like knowing what your matchups are gonna be?
I mean, I definitely like, especially, Didi and Travis, both of those teams are always tough.
Yeah.
Especially when we play green team. I always feel like Travis just does such a good job protecting the rim. And I think that's going to be part of our strategy, but I don't think we're going to force anything. I think we're going to stick to what wins us games. And that's 4 or 5 guys, scoring double digits. That's what we do. We don't have anybody that's averaging 25 a game. It's 5 guys that are averaging
like 11,
9 or more.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to win us games here. And we'll see what happens. We'll see if that first game who we play. Depending on that pink and blue game, that'll decide who we play.
So I had them at 1 seed 5-2. Emilio had them at 3, going 5-2, and Alex, of course, 1 seed 6-1. So with that, I guess we can get into playoff predictions now.
So the first game would be pink and blue, right?
Pink and
I
blue.
think they're having pink and blue.
They're doing it so that, let's just say hypothetically pink wins, pink would play red, and no matter what, we would know that the winner of that second game would play gray.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If blue wins, they would automatically play gray, and the winner of that second game would play red.
Yeah.
So they're doing that because that game kind of tells more.
Yeah.
So what do you guys have for that first game then? Pink versus blue. Jaden, you want to start it off?
Pink versus blue. Man, from what I've heard pink is not gonna have a full squad there.
Yeah. And maybe for blue team too. So the name of this is attendance.
Yeah, but also with I feel like that last Pink's loss this past Sunday, it kind of like brought down their morale a little bit. Even that they still made it into the playoffs, that loss kind of was like
Stung.
a big, like, I don't know. It was something, and it definitely affected your guys' chemistry. And even with that, not having people available for playoffs, which is when you need them the most.
Yeah.
It's definitely gonna be tough for you guys, especially because you're already short-staffed.
Yeah.
I feel like the blue team, they've showed that they don't necessarily need to rely on subs. They can play the full 40 minutes and still go full throttle the whole time. Especially since this first game, it's an 8 a.m. game too, so I feel like not everyone's gonna be awake, ready at their best. But I don't know, if you had to ask me, I think I'm gonna go blue team here. So, what about you, Alex?
I think it's going to be a good game. The first time you guys played, it was a super close game. Blue was up. Pink stormed back in the second half. I think you guys you took a lead at some point.
Yeah, we did.
And then blue ended up, taking it in the final moments. I'm not sure who's gonna be there for Pink, but give me Pink, yo. Give me Pink. This is a challenge to Chevy. I think Chevy's gonna pull up at the 8 a.m. game. He's gonna pull up 8:25. Pink's gonna get out to a big lead.
Yeah, he's got a.
Pink's gonna get out to a big lead. If Chevy gets there on time, then maybe my prediction would change. But it's an 8 a.m. game, and
He doesn't have a good record.
he doesn't have a good track record of waking up early.
Hey, that's true.
There's so many like tangibles when it comes to
yeah,
something
yeah.
like that because 8 a.m. is tough. But
it sucks. But
I think if you guys have Pat too, like I don't know if
we'll
he's
have
gonna
Pat.
be.
We'll have Pat.
I mean, I watched one game from Pat. He adds an element to your
yeah.
offense, like
Wonderful,
playmaking,
wonderful
shooting,
player.
that wasn't there the past games and the year before.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if you have him, you have King playing. I think you guys lock in on defense. You play a tough game. I think you guys could get it done.
Yeah. But you want to go into the next game?
purple, yellow,
What do you got for your prediction?
purple, yellow.
Oh, for pink and blue.
Yeah.
You know what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna ride with pink. Been a rough couple seasons. Been a rough couple of games. But if I come into this game thinking blue will win, then I've already lost.
Yeah,
I think it could be a franchise-altering game for Pink.
Yeah.
Like, they win.
No, but he's right though. It
Like,
could be.
if you guys win, even no matter what happens after that, you won a playoff game compared from last year going 0-12 to winning a playoff game. I think that your outlook into the next season may be a little bit different compared to if you guys are first round exits.
Right.
And what's the team gonna look like next year? Yeah.
True.
That is true because if we do win this game, you would kind of solidify a foundation for what's coming next.
For sure.
Yeah.
But if we lose, then it's like, what's next?
Who knows, right? Yeah.
So I definitely agree with him that this could. A lot of these games is franchise altering.
True.
For sure.
Like, but we'll go into it when we get there. But I definitely have pink. I have
Alright.
pink taking this one.
And then purple and yellow.
I don't know.
That's-
Go ahead. You want to go first, Jaden?
I don't even know. Do you know?
I'm
do you have yours
purple
already,
all the
Alex?
way.
You're purple. What
There's
about you,
two.
Alex?
It's a mismatch hell for yellow. Who? Okay.
I don't think so.
Say you
I don't
have
think
somebody.
so, though.
Say you have somebody for Brandon. Then you got to worry about Shane. Then you got to worry about Melo. Then you got to worry about Josh Medina.
They have guys for that though. They have Kevin. They have Jacob. They have Adam. These guys
Yeah.
can guard perimeter. They can guard inside.
Right, and I agree. I feel like out of all the teams here, like 1 through 5, yellow is the best team to guard this purple team. But there's purple teams that are deadly, and I don't know how. What do you
really
have,
don't
Alex?
know.
I think that I see a way that both teams win this. A way that yellow wins and a way that purple wins. But I ultimately think it's going to come down to how well purple shoots the ball.
Yeah.
If they shot the ball like they did last weekend, I think yellow is a tough team, but I just think it could get out of hand quickly.
It's gonna be a shootout.
It's
bro.
gonna. But if yellow is playing good defense, contesting, getting a hand on these threes, I think they could take the game in a close game. I really do.
That's gonna be a fight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a fight.
I could also see it both ways, but if I had to pick one, I'm gonna give it to yellow. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna give it to yellow.
Wow. I'm also going purple. I don't know if I said purple or not, but
why would you say purple? Why would you say yellow?
I mean, I don't know. Like Alex
just
said,
wanna
it could
see
go
it.
either way.
Yeah.
I really don't know.
I feel like
just gotta pick something.
the saving grace for the yellow team, and I know I speak highly of him, is Adam too. I don't think especially it, not to be saying anything, but it's a mismatch for that purple team. I don't see a lot of people that can match with his physicality
you're right.
with
Definitely.
Adam,
That's true.
but he is very foul prone, and I feel like I think he fouled out a couple of games this season. That's going to be a big issue, whether he could keep his hands to himself when it comes to it. So that's going to be big for the yellow team too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's the next one is gray. So do you want to go over both matchups?
So, how would that work?
So gray, no matter what, would not play pink. So they would either play blue or the winner of purple yellow. And vice versa, red would not play blue under any circumstances in the next round.
Okay.
So wait, so it's gray could play
Purple
blue
or blue?
purple,
right?
blue, purple, or
blue,
yellow. I feel like. All right, so let's say this: who do you think they would lose would lose.
Who do I think Gray would lose to?
Yeah.
I think they would lose to blue.
I feel like they would lose to blue and purple.
I think blue has been here before. They know what it takes to win in the playoffs. They did it last year when they, made the championship and they almost won the whole thing. And I just think that they're too talented. They played the first game of the year, and I think they maybe underestimated Gray. That was I think that was the first game of the Phil-Am season. That game
was
possibly.
it blue versus gray?
Or the first week at least. They played in the first week.
You're right. I think you're right.
And I think blue maybe played down, not sure what to expect. But I think that would be a tough game for Gray.
Yeah, it's gonna be a scrappy game.
Yeah.
And I mean, purple, overwhelming would be Gray too. But I feel like they do. Gray does match up well with purple.
I think the only team Gray would lose to is probably blue. I think I would give them the edge over the other two teams.
I would agree with that as well.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Gray's scoring potential is just too much for me to let the other teams have it over them, because I don't know, man. The way they've been playing as of late, it's been eye-opening for sure. So I hope we get some good games this weekend.
I'm excited. I mean, guys, if you're watching this, it's the best Sunday of the Phil-Am season.
It is. Even last year when there was a 4 games, best Sunday.
4 games back to back. Like you
have to be there.
You gotta be there and experience it. I'm telling you,
it's fun too. Everyone brings out the families, the culture.
So bring out your people, bring out everybody. It's gonna be a great
posters.
day. I hope we can have the mics those days.
Oh yeah,
I hope so.
Because those are the
We'll
best
be
days.
heartbroken if we don't have those.
Yeah,
but red against
purple, yellow, or pink.
I mean,
I think
I don't think anyone could beat them.
Yeah, that's a tough call.
I'm just keeping it a
That's
buck.
definitely a tough call.
What about you though? You think you could beat them?
That's matchup wise, it's tough.
It would be a crazy run for pink though if they beat blue in the first round and then beat us. Like that would be one of the best playoff runs of all time.
Oh yeah,
that would be up there. But no, it's hard, very difficult matchup wise. Then you're coming into that game with a very hyped up red team and an exhausted pink team.
Yeah.
I think that's a huge advantage for gray and red. That's why it's so much tougher to beat a top 2 seed. Like blue did it last year against yellow, beating the yellow team as a top 2 seed. But with that extra game of rest, it's just a huge advantage. It really is.
And the thing is, if we're going off word and saying that pink is not gonna have a full squad, it's gonna be worse.
Tougher.
It's gonna make it even tougher.
Yeah, definitely. To win one game would be tough, but to win back to back, it would be very tough.
I feel like the biggest chance would be purple, and I don't want to be riding their dick, but purple would have the best chance of beating this red because of their depth. They have so many scorers that you can turn to, and they have a lot of stamina on that team. So
I guess what leads to our final question that we could close out this episode with is, who do you want to see the finals matchup?
I want to see a red versus blue rematch. But the thing is, if you asked me a couple weeks ago, then I would say that. But with the injury of Justin and how the last couple of weeks have gone, I want to see a red versus purple.
You do? Okay.
I do. I want to see how purple really, because we haven't seen purple in the playoffs for real. You know what I'm saying? They've been a first round knockout for the last 2 seasons now.
Yeah.
Oh, they won last year. They upset
Oh yeah.
Who did they upset last year?
Purple, right?
No, they upset you guys, didn't they?
No, blue upset us. Yeah, blue knocked us out last year.
Who did they beat? Black?
They beat
Black.
They
They
beat Black in the first round.
Oh
yeah.
But again, that was a huge upset, and then they played us in that first round, and we played a good game, but they were just tired, and you felt it. In that second half,
I remember.
we kind of opened the game up because it was just they were tired. It's a lot of basketball.
It's a lot of basketball.
It is.
And in the physicality, it's hard. You get gassed out there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But that's who I want to see. I feel like if there's gonna be something, I would enjoy that game the most.
I want a red and blue rematch. I need to see that. And if not red, I want to see gray and blue, but I want to see blue back in the finals. I want to
Yeah,
see them
I
back
do
there.
want to see that too.
I think they've.
I don't think there's any way gray versus blue in the chip can
Is it
happen.
not?
I don't think so.
Oh,
Because
shit,
if blue
you're right.
wins, no matter what they play,
Yeah,
they
you're
play
right.
gray.
You're right. Oh man, but
That's a good game.
no matter
that's
what,
a great semifinal game.
regardless of who else makes it, I think blue deserves to be in there.
Yeah,
I
to be
think
in
they
the
need
mix.
another shot. And it's gonna be a big story for them too, because they lose their new addition, but they're able to rile back and win the championship.
A lot of motivation there for them.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah. So, what about you, Alex? What do you want to see, or
I
who
feel
do
like
you
it's
want to
tough
see in
for
the
me to-
finals? Who do you want
I
to see?
feel
in
like
the
it's tough for
finals?
me to speak on it because I would take us versus anybody, but I think that the most fun game would probably be blue or gray. Yeah, I think gray probably wants their get back after the game a few weeks ago, and blue too. Like, we beat them in the championship. They were up 10 versus us. Like,
Then you have a target on your head.
yeah, definitely. I think they would. Both of those teams would give us a good game and go out and give full effort.
Yeah.
And that's what I want. I don't want a team to roll over.
Yeah, you want a good. You want a good.
Yeah,
game.
I want a
Yeah,
good
yeah,
game.
a
I
good
want
game.
somebody who's gonna fight for 40 minutes and
Yeah, especially in the finals.
exactly.
But with all that being said, thank you guys for joining us today. Sunday movie.
Be there.
Be there.
8 a.m.
Bring your people. 8 a.m.
See you guys.
So we'll see you guys there. Thank you for watching today, and I guess that's it,
I
right?
guess that's it.
Awesome. See you
Peace.
guys.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, that was good.